Hello there, my name is Josh and I have my own musical project which is called the Majestic Procession, and in this short video I'm going to talk about one of my biggest influences over the last 30 years, the Portsmouth band Cranes. So let's talk about Cranes and how did I get into them. So I think it was about 1993 when I got into Cranes. They've been going a few years by then. And I was a student. I think I was in my second year at university. And there was a few bands that I was interested in at the time. And I'd yet to discover Cranes. And I think I found them one day. I was reading a piece of music press about new releases. And I came across a review of this album here, Forever by Cranes. And I bought my first copy on audio cassette. I wasn't sure whether I'd like them or not. I kind of liked the review. It seemed quite interesting, so I bought it on tape. And I did what I very often did at the time. When I listened to a new piece of music for the first time, I put it on at night. Basically, I'd go to bed, I'd put my headphones on, and I'd just lay there and listen to the music and let myself get completely absorbed into it and just see where it would take me. And with Forever, that was quite spectacular. Once I'd gotten used to the sound, obviously you have the first couple of tracks. We have Everywhere, Cloudless, and then the brilliant single Jewel, Far Away. And then the track that really grabbed me was Adrift. And I distinctly remember that just the musical pictures that conjured up in my mind as I listened to that track, it just was really mind-blowing. So I think from that point, I was definitely extremely interested in Cranes. And yes, they went on to be a big influence on me. I particularly enjoyed the album Wings of Joy as well. It has a very raw sound, but I love the way it kind of starts off quite moody, almost autumnal, and then it just builds up and builds up to a crescendo on the brilliant track 6th of May, which is just so intense. I love it. And then after that, it kind of relaxes and takes a deep breath, and then you end up with some brilliant tracks like Adoration at the end. It's just wonderful. So that was early Cranes. I also liked the album Loved, which I also have here on tape, although I probably had it on CD as well at some point. So I really liked this album as well. I loved particularly the second track on there, Pale Blue Sky. I love the rhythm on that. It's just, wow, amazing. And the whole feel of the album, it's very consistent, very beautiful. I really liked that album too. So how was it an influence on my music? Well, at the time I wanted to do guitar-based music. I was very much into guitar-based, almost kind of grunge music. A lot of distortion, a lot of digital delay, with the drum machine. Sometimes I'd play bass guitar on it as well. So it's a very kind of muddy, distorted sound with this kind of clanky drum machine going on in the background. So kind of not really like Cranes, because I didn't have the kind of female vocal sitting over the top of it, and I think a proper drummer rather than a drum machine. But Cranes, I think I kind of lost interest in them a bit towards the end of the 90s and the early 2000s, and then I rediscovered them, and that was a wonderful rediscovery. I came across the album Future Songs. You see, I like it so much I'm wearing the t-shirt. So here we go, Future Songs. This one I really liked. I mean, it's a bit more of an electronic sound, I think. I just really liked it. I mean, standout tracks for me. I mean, it starts off with a great song, Future Song. You've got the wonderful Submarine flute song, and then it kind of builds up. You've got Driving in the Sun, Fragile, just really great tracks. And the whole album, I feel, is very consistent. It works really well as an album. And I was delighted when they came out with another album, kind of in the same vein, which I also really enjoyed. It's a bit more of a grower for me. Particles and Waves. And again, this album, it took a bit longer to get into my head, but when it did, it really stuck in my head, and you just go around for weeks with all the songs playing in your head, which, for me is a sign of a good album, if you're enjoying it, unless it's complete earworm, in which, no. But this was just a really good, enjoyable album. And I feel that my music became more electronic over the years as well. especially over that period in the sort of early to mid 2000s. I started using more sequenced sounds. I think probably I got bored with the distorted guitar thing. And actually now I use a lot more reverb with guitar, a lot more arpeggios. It's all a lot more controlled. So I don't know if you'll pick that up. If you kindly want to listen to some of my music, whether you hear any influence of Cranes in there, I'll put a link below to the playlist and to my Bandcamp. Feel free to have a listen or not. It's up to you. But you might find something you like there. So I hope you enjoyed this short video, and goodbye for now.